first time here, welcome. My name is Ku'u Ka'uanoe. I am a 2016 graduate of the ACM program, and this is Talkin Story with Alumni. So this is our chance to catch up with former students and just learn from them and their experiences and get some tips and tricks on how to get to where they are. A lot of these turn out to be really insightful. We always get some really good tips from our alumni, so I'm glad you guys are here with us today. Thanks, Michael, for joining. All right, cool. So let me just give you a little tidbit of our guest today. Today we have Joseph. He is a 2020 graduate of UH West Oahu and currently works as a graphic designer for Hawaiian Island Creations. So I'm really excited to talk to him about his design experience. In his free time, he likes to draw and he's also a DJ. So if you're in Chinatown, apparently Bar 35, that's where he is at. Let me go ahead and add him to our stream. Thanks for joining us, guys. Joseph, let me know if you, oh, there it is. Hey! Oh, can you hear me? I can I hear you? Let me turn it up. Go ahead. Oh, shoot. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear him? Let us know in the comments. But that might be me. Might be me, might be you. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Maybe it's your, oh, there you go. I can hear your microphone. Like I can hear you tapping it, but I can't hear your voice. It's a troubleshooting, This is the life that we lead in tech. Everything is a troubleshoot. Maybe, oh, okay, go ahead.
Is this better?
Yes!
Okay, cool. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's good. There you go. Mahea said, try without the earphones, and it works. So here we are.
Nice.
If this isn't what it's like going through the ACM program, just troubleshooting everything, okay, let's be real. We are professional troubleshooters. Joseph, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let me just, I didn't plug this earlier, but if anyone in the audience has questions as we're going through, just drop them in the comments and we'll read them. But if not, like right then, we'll definitely get to them towards the end. So Joseph, I want to start. I ask everybody whenever we do these, my first question, because I'm always interested. When you were growing up, what did you want to be?
I think growing up, I kind of already knew what I wanted to be. I think like one of my first thoughts or ideas was I wanted to be like an artist. I think that was the main thing, like kind of like watching Dragon Ball Z and like, I kind of wanted to like draw a lot of those things, or like kind of like anime, I guess. But yeah, that was one of my first ideas.
That's cool. And the reason why I like to ask is because, especially since you put that one of your hobbies is drawing, you already knew that you had an interest in art, but who knew it would be graphic design? So when you came to West Oahu, did you originally start as a creative media student with that goal?
I actually started off at Leeward with for digital media, and then my associates, I transferred to UH West, and yeah, pretty much from that point on is creating media. You knew, you were locked in. You said, this is my path. Well, I think that's interesting, right? Well, for me, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be like a music video director. So I knew like growing up that I would want to do something with video, but who knew that video would like explode in the way that it has, right? So I guess while you were going through the program, what's like one challenge that you faced, either when you were in college, like in school or outside of school, that really pushed you to finish and like get you to that graduation point? Ooh, that's a tough question. I think
I know
what kind of pushed me was obviously thinking back like how far I've like gotten.
And also like even like my peers, you know, like classmates kind of seeing like what they can do. And of course, like after graduation, kind of seeing like how some of them, you know, kind of flourished. But yeah, it's a tough question. It's a tough question.
It's no, I like that you said that it was like looking at your classmates also because they are motivations, you know, seeing what your classmates can do. What was what was your favorite class going through ACM and why?
Oh man, I think honestly, my favorite one was I forgot what it's called. Is Scott still there?
I have
He did
no idea. Somebody in the comments will tell us.
uh, did InDesign. Um,
Oh.
and I know for that class, like I probably didn't touch up until that point. I didn't touch InDesign for like years, and the way he kind of taught, um, you know, it was very like it felt like a job. You know, even though like these are school projects, it felt like a job. You know, you had like a task at hand, and you have like a certain clientele in mind, and you kind of had to like figure your way out. You know, like from like a customer standpoint, like let's say like we were doing like a brochure for a hotel. You got to think about like who's like the demographics and all that. So it kind of like went like we went through the motions, like from being the customer to like actual like maker of the product. And I think that kind of correlates to like UI and UX stuff. I remember what was his name? Mark Moran. He was a classmate of mine, and then like next you know like a year later he started teaching for UH West, and I took his class, and you know the same thing, kind of like you have like a project, and then you kind of think like you know the user like whatever they go through. Like we use you know iPhones and all that every day, and it's like we kind of already know how to use it, but like once you start making it, it's story. So I think like those two classes for sure was like one of my favorites.
Cool. Charlotte said creative strategy. Is that ringing any bells?
Yes,
Is that what
yes.
it was called? Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to take that class, but it sounds like you really got to got kind of like job training, like what it would be like out in the real world. And I think that's like so important. Did before like ACM, did you have any experience like working in design, or I mean kind of like tell us how you got into your job today?
Yeah, I mean so I started doing graphics in high school. I went to Radford High School, and you know it's kind of just like entry level type of stuff, you know, kind of like beginning courses. And then I was luckily enough to meet a friend of mine who's like been my friend for like over 10 years now. His name is Lowell. He has a shop or a store. He makes like t-shirts and stuff.
Cool.
So I think this was probably 2012. We met, and then he asked me to make like a little flyer for Instagram. So from like that, we became close. And then, you know, obviously he kept asking for stuff, and eventually I kind of dipped my hat into like making like screen print art for him, like for t-shirts and whatnot. So entryway, I guess.
Yeah, and just to clarify, were you doing, it kind of sounds like you were freelancing a little bit for the design. Were you doing that while you were going to school or right after? Oh, wow.
So this was senior year, and we went on for like a long time, like very long time.
Nice. Well, first off, I want to say you're shouting out all your homies right now. So we better tag them after this so they know that you're. Yeah, I love that though, because I mean, it just shows how connected people are, you know, and how much of a network you can build in school. Can I ask, how did you balance, you know, your freelance work and trying to get all of this like on the job experience with your schoolwork and all of that?
Oh, that one was hard, you know, like you'll have schoolwork, and then you actually have like regular work, and then like you go home, you have schoolwork, and then like sometimes you still have like other projects that you do on the side. So like for me, what I would do is obviously like school came first, and then, I'll probably be done like 9, 10 o'clock. And then I'll give myself at least maybe like an hour after work. If not, I'll go like past midnight to finish whatever I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, like, it wasn't like the freelance thing was like a consistent thing. It was like not every day, but it was kind of like spaced out. So I think giving myself breaks definitely helped a lot.
That's a great tip, giving yourself breaks and like scheduling, or like, as you mentioned, like time slotting, prioritizing certain things. I think for a lot of our students, especially because this is the spring semester, some of them are trying to graduate. They're probably feeling a little overwhelmed,
Yeah.
And it's only February. What tips or advice would you give any of our spring graduates to get through? I mean, what do you look for, or what do you look to kind of encourage you?
Well, if it's not about graduating,
Mm-hmm.
they definitely like do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Have like how do I explain it? Like, this project might just be for class, but then you're still creating something, and you should be like taking pride with it. So like, honestly, just do your best, and yeah, just be mindful of your energy, because like you don't want to waste it. So like you don't want to waste time making like something kind of like, I guess, mediocre. Just give it. And like one day you'll look back, like right now you might think like, oh, I don't really like what I'm doing, but like you look back and you're like, wow, I made that.
Yeah. I like that. Take pride in what you're doing right now. This is also a plug for all of our students watching, that all of your projects should be going into a portfolio.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That we can, so that you can build your experience. And when you start applying to places, you have something that holds all of your work and can really show off your talents. How did you get your job at Hawaiian Island Creations? I'm super interested because I'm sure we all own a shirt from there.
And so it's one of those things where I kind of was like at the right place at the right time. And I feel like a lot of people kind of like that cliche spoke it into existence. I'm working at Hawaiian Island Creations, and like my coworkers they know like I would do like design and stuff like that, and they would always say like, hey, why don't you make designs for for work? And I'm like, oh, like I'll brush off, oh, I don't know. And then this was like a year ago actually.
Oh.
Boss was like, hey, there's an opening at the office, you should apply. I'm like, how do I apply? So then, we kind of talked, and then I sent in my resume, my portfolio, and like maybe like a week later, got a call for an interview, and then like the rest is history.
I don't think that's a cliche. You just right place, right time. I think everyone is supposed to be where they're meant to be, but I think it's such a cool story. It's like, because you were already working there. How long had you worked there before? Were you working like in a store?
Yeah, so I was working at the Pearl Ridge location.
Wow.
I was since 2015.
Whoa.
Yes, so I was there for quite a while, and I pretty much started at the bottom.
Right.
I was a salesperson. I started as a seasonal salesperson. Wow. So such a big jump coming from like, just a regular worker to like into the office, and that was a big jump.
That's a big like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I did help like kind of working there for a while, you learn the ins and outs of the company, and like
yeah.
Since it's like a local company, the owners are still, coming around and all that. So kind of knew everybody. That helped a lot.
I mean, you said that was a big jump, but what an amazing journey. Because, you work at these places, especially, if it was your college job. I mean, you had it since 2015, and you think, oh, I'll just do this and move somewhere else. But perfect timing. They had an opening for you. Can you tell us, I mean, kudos to you, snaps. Let's just do snaps real quick. I think that's everyone's dream, right? To like work for a company that they really care about and then move into a position that they really care about, you know? Because I mean, that shows growth. So kudos to you and your company. Someone just shouted out to you, Joseph. But I think that's so cool. I want to give a reminder to everyone, if you've got questions for him, let us know and we can ask him. But I want to ask too, what does like a day at your job look like for you?
I think it kind of depends on what part of the month we're on. So usually, let's say towards the middle, ending of the month, we start prepping for upcoming promotions that we have like in store. So like each month we'll have a different brand that does like some type of store promotion. Right now we have Billabong going on.
Fun.
So usually like the middle or the ending of the month, I start to prep like signage for the stores, you know, like for the stuff that's on sale or like on promo and stuff like that. And from that point on, like I design it, and in design, I print every sign. So like we have, I think 17 stores. We also control the Hurley store in International Marketplace and Hollywood. Cool. So this upcoming month, we're gonna have a Hurley promo. So I also make signs for them as well. And
cool.
Other coworker, she's also one of the other designers. Me and her, we distribute everything. And right now I'm working on a lot of men's, I guess, designs.
Cool.
But yeah, so hopefully that comes in soon, or we have like a meeting about it. But then, yeah, it's kind of like all over the place, depending. Like, you know, one day I'll just be like making shirts. Next day I'll be making some signage.
Right.
There's been random moments where I just make stuff in Photoshop for like posters. Like I made quite a bit of posters actually back in September or October, and we had it printed to go to the Big Island. So I went to the Big Island ago to help put it up in the stores. So that's always
that is so cool. And Charlotte already got a jump start on my next question. What is it like seeing your designs out in public?
So far, it's crazy because like I made 2 men's designs back in pretty much the summertime, or that's when it came out. And I haven't seen like anybody wear it. What's crazy is I know like pretty much all the stores were sold out. And like we just had a restock. In fact, I do have like a few of them to show.
Show us. We want to see.
So,
how do you know one of us in the audience don't have that shirt, you know?
The colors are kind of dark on this one because I got a black one, but then so like this rooster one was the most popular one.
That's cool.
That one, it went out pretty fast. Like I was actually kind of surprised on how fast it went. So like for me, I had to grab some pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, you don't get dibs on your own design? No, I'm kidding.
And this one too. It's pretty simple.
Cute. I love it. That's so cool.
They're like some of the ones I made.
Yeah. Well, even like, I mean, just to think like you make all the signage for all of the stores. I mean, how many stores do you guys have? It's cool to like walk by a store and be like, I did that, right?
Mm-hmm. I think what hit was when I was making my rounds at Alumni, since we have 2 stores there. We have one right downstairs from my ties. I was like on the upstairs where like Olive Garden is, and I'm walking and I see the Alumni window. They have like this car shape that I made. I'm like, I kind of like stood there for a second like that, and it's like hanging in one of the biggest malls, outdoor malls, you know, in Hawaii. So that was kind of crazy.
That is so cool. You got to give yourself more props, Joseph, because that's really cool. I'm sure everybody else in the audience is like me, like freaking out. Like I would freak out myself.
Yeah, that was cool.
I love it. Okay, somebody asked if you're a contractor or if you're like on staff.
Oh, so I'm actually on staff. Yes.
Do they contract designers though, or they? How many designers are there? That's a good question.
So for our like creative team,
Mm.
there's pretty much only like four of us.
Wow.
Half me and my other coworker, we pretty much handle the design parts. So like I do like a lot of the men's stuff and some of the kids stuff, and she does like the girls stuff and the women's stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
dip our hand into like other accessories and whatnot. And then the other two people are mainly for like marketing and like social media.
Got it.
That's a small team.
But wow, I mean, yeah, small comparatively because I thought you guys would have a lot, and everybody's designing shirts and
We do have other designers that are like freelance or like contract, but mainly our goal now is to keep everything in-house.
Wonderful. Wow, that's cool. Do you have any tips or advice for people who are looking for a job in design?
Oh, yes. So I kind of learned this like through the years, but definitely keep sharpening your skills. Like for me, like, well, design is everywhere. So everywhere you look, there's a design. Like you say you're walking into like a restaurant and they might have like, like, how like they have those barcodes where you scan to sign in. Like sometimes you have no clue like what they need or like what they want you to do. So like design is everywhere, like also like keep looking for or like keep in touch with like trends. Like be trendy, but it's kind of good to know what people are interested right now.
Yeah.
Also, I learned this from a friend. He does like UI UX stuff in Las Vegas. So what he does is he updates his portfolio. He goes and applies to different jobs to see if his portfolio still holds up.
Oh, that's a great tip.
I didn't think of that, but yeah, so like that's super smart,
Yeah.
It helps you like keep up with the market.
Oh, for sure. And see what other people, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, make sure you're sharpening your skills, but also like the skills that employers expect. I think it'd be great if some of the students like, start looking for the kind of job that you want and seeing what's in the job listing. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. Your friend's brilliant. Shout out to another one of your friends.
Yes. In here. I thought I saw here, but thank you for
we got a lot of people asking you about your DJ career. I'd said at the top that you DJ at Bar 35. Anywhere else people can catch you? And do you offer lessons?
Okay, so I don't offer lessons because I'm not like the greatest, I'd say, but
should have had you do a set for us. No kidding.
But right now, it is Bar 35. I only play there on the third Saturdays of the month. That's like me and my friends, like I guess time, since they have like throughout the month. But we are looking to expand our also. We'll see what the future has in store.
I love it. Someone said greatest NY Pahu.
That's my friend.
That's hilarious. Okay, but also that's really cool. Another plug, if anyone has more questions for Joseph, let us know in the comments. I kind of want to ask you, it's so great that, okay, let me tell you, Joseph. Usually when I ask people for a bio, they keep it really short. You listed so many hobbies in your bio to me. I was like, oh, I can't go into all of these, but maybe Joseph can talk more about it. And I want to ask you, having a job and having hobbies, work-life balance is kind of a myth, but how do you do it?
This kind of goes back to what I said earlier, just kind of taking breaks. I know like drawing is like a big thing for me. I don't draw every day. I do like have, I guess, like spurts where I am drawing. and then I'll like stop to just kind of relax a bit. But yeah, even like the whole DJing thing, like I'll practice at home here and there. I guess just kind of not going all in, just let it breathe, so you don't
I
get
love
like,
that. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I mean, especially for a lot of creatives, you know, your passion that was your hobby becomes your like full-time career, and it's like getting burnt out on something that you love so much. But your tip is breaks, take breaks. Someone asked, what's your favorite project that you've worked on?
what type of project are we talking about? Like for work or?
How about you give us a work one, since you kind of already told us the college one that you've done.
What?
The shirt that you had?
I don't think that was my favorite one.
Okay, tell us.
Oh, so my favorite one that I made was this little motel key fob.
Cool.
White and gold color, and like the back, it's just like a little please return to stuff where you can put your name. So this was my favorite only because, well, one, I didn't make one of these ever before, but for this, like, I guess like style, even though it's like so simple, this wasn't like a thing that I would normally do. You know, I guess like this looks more quote unquote like feminine,
Right.
you know, so like I guess like bold and like super aggressive.
Got it.
I think
Like a different style.
Yeah. It was kind of like a learning situation where I was looking towards like different inspirations and whatnot.
Yeah.
My coworker kind of like, she gave me like, oh, you might want to check out like this place because they make like this type of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of just a learning thing.
Yeah. And that's cool because you also get to learn how to design on a different like product.
Yeah.
You know, it's like switching it up.
Yes, breath of fresh air.
Yeah, that's what you said. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in terms of your career? Man, these people got good questions today. They're stealing all of mine.
Those are my friends asking those questions.
Oh, are they doing it on purpose? No kidding.
I think 5 years, that's a good question though. 5 years, hopefully like expanding more, I guess, on the design end, not only like graphics, but like, let's say like right now I'm doing like men's t-shirts. I want to expand on going more into it. Like, let's say we have a hat, and sure, I can put like some text in the front, but I want to, you know, incorporate, I guess, like more fashion things into it, like from the details, like color of the stitching, this and that, like the materials and whatnot. So that's definitely one. And I guess like overall too, I want to expand more into like the UI UX stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely like if you can do that, like to me personally, if you can do that, you're a G. Like that stuff is so hard. And yeah, that's definitely something I want to work on. So hopefully I can somehow intertwine those two things. That would be great.
Yeah, that's branching out even more kinds of like creativity and design, especially with UX UI. You kind of, kind of spoke about it earlier, but Joshi asked, how do you get around the days when you feel like you can't make new designs?
Oh, that's easy. I pretty much just step away from everything. You know, just pretty much out, watch some shows. You know, I like to watch like those Japanese like cooking, or like when they go to like restaurants, it's just like silent. But those are like some of my favorite ones. Or even just like listening to music, just kind of vibing out. That definitely helps a lot. Do you hear that?
No.
Oh, I think that's just me. Anyway.
What is it?
Like crashing. But yeah, like even like hang out with like my family and my friends, like I love them all to death. So, you know, just kind of stepping back and just taking in like whatever else that's not related to work or design and stuff.
Yeah, take a break, guys. Take a break. Let's see, we got some more questions. Charlotte asked, where do you get your inspiration for the t-shirt designs?
Honestly, a lot of it's from my surroundings, even like from my friends too. I've definitely been working on a few things where they suggested a few things, and I kind of like researched my way into creating those, I guess, designs. Yeah, it's hard to say what specifically, or like if there's like one thing, you know, it kind of comes from a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of sports, and like with sports there's fashion from, like, you know, the athletes, so like those things definitely help a lot.
Yeah. Let's see, next question. Do you think you'd want to work for a bigger company in the future, or do you prefer the smaller local companies?
I haven't really thought about that yet. I feel like I kind of just got my foot in the door, but you know, I'm open to any possibility for sure.
Yeah.
So I think I don't have I don't have an answer for that question yet, but
yeah,
in the future I will.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think like just
Well,
in general,
yeah,
I think working for a local company is better only because I feel like these local companies, like, they're very in tune with their employees. I've worked for mainland companies before, and it wasn't like the greatest experience up until like now. Like, I do think like they care about their workers, and they kind of, like, you know, they do show up for things, so that's always nice.
Yeah, well, and the other thing that's coming to mind is that, like, smaller local companies, you kind of like, it's easier to understand their brand, and especially when you're designing something for that brand, right? And making sure that it's like on par with whatever the company represents. I mean, for Hawaiian Island Creations, I'm sure like that chicken, like, who would know? Like, you wouldn't see somebody walking around with a chicken like shirt in California. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's see, another question. What challenges do you face when getting a design approved by management or whoever gives the final approval? That's a good question coming off of that last one. Are you guess like because this is your boss? No, I'm kidding.
No, that's my friend. Okay. He's asking some good questions though.
Yeah.
Some of the challenges I do face is pretty much my own personal opinion versus the greater good of the company. Obviously, the company needs to make money, and even though that I think like, oh man, this design is great, blah blah blah, I had to think deeper, like, you know, who our demographics are.
Right.
Would I even wear it like on a t-shirt per se? You know, just some random, I guess, like, first where, you know, will they even bother to look at it? So I think those are like some of the challenges, and, you know, obviously like they have their own opinions too.
Right. So
like, taking into consideration how they feel and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's kind of like the main challenges. But I guess overall, I don't like let that really like phase me. You know, if something doesn't get through, you know, we have another day to make something new and even better.
I love that. I like that outlook, because I was going to say, is it kind of like you design it and then you pitch it to your management and they're like yes or no, or do you guys like collab and like, oh, let's change like this color or something, or does it just depend on the project?
Yeah, oftentimes it is like that. You know, we do get together for like meetings and whatnot, and we discuss like what we want to do. I guess like different designs that we did make for like certain products, and then we'll give like, you know, it's like school.
Yeah.
It's just get together and show off our stuff, and, you know, we critique each other, help each other be better.
Can you tell us, or maybe you don't want to tell us, about a design that you like really loved that you didn't get to see on a shirt?
I'm trying to think, because I know I've made a lot.
Oh, you like pitching every day? Is that what, you know?
I'm not pitching every day,
right,
but I do create stuff like quite a bit. There was one, I guess, thing that I did make. It was something super simple. I thought the concept was cool, but you know, after kind of like discussing it with, you know, whoever has the last say, it was kind of one of those things where it wasn't the right time, and people or like our certain demographic wouldn't really understand yet.
Oh, okay. Understand.
Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
strategic stuff, I want to say.
Yeah, no, but I like what you were saying earlier about, you know, like it may not happen right now, but it's it'll happen later or not yet. Let's see. Someone asked, have you thought of exploring out of Hawaii, as in physically going out and exploring the mainland for other works / inspirations?
You know, that's actually something I have thought about. There's a designer, he's like a fashion designer. His name is Salehi Bembury. So some of his recent works, he takes inspirations from, like, I guess, different places in the world. So like recently he did a collaboration with New Balance. Cool. So with New Balance shoe, the colors are pretty out there, you know. It's like, when you first look at it, it's like a salmon looking pink. But the story behind it is, it's pretty much like, come to Century.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like the desert, but it's like this desert at like sunset. So like there's a lot of like pinks and like purples and of course oranges. So it's like really out there. And yeah, I think like, I'm sorry, I'm going in a tangent, but yeah, I guess exploring things like that, like taking like, you know, nature into, and it's something I've been thinking about.
Yeah. And that's cool because we, you know, everyone kind of like comes with their own kind of experience and the things that they find beautiful. So it's cool to see what other people find beautiful and kind of working that in. Can I ask you, because you brought up New Balance and you're obviously, you know, designing t-shirts. Did you always like want to get into fashion, or how did you like, or was it just like you were doing the posters and then you worked there and you're like, yeah, I can do shirts?
I think this just came about fairly recently. Making like t-shirt designs and whatnot, and I like looked at him like, it would be cool if this t-shirt had a certain tag here and things like that. And yeah, like I'm really into like shoes too, so like details like that like makes me want to do that for like just other stuff like hats and stuff. So yeah, this thought just kind of came to my mind recently, not too long ago.
You are diversifying your products, you know. Oh, Charlotte said aloha shirt patterns.
Oh yes, I remember we did that for a class.
Cool.
I don't know or whose class it was, but we had to make a print, like a all over Hawaiian, like aloha shirt type. That was fun.
What was your print? Now I'm interested.
I think I made like this red shirt with like white. I did take inspiration. I do have like a shirt like that. I think it's from Luca. So that was.
I like that you're just calling out all your inspirations though, because people want to know, you know, like what inspires you and what keeps those like creative juices going. I want to ask you, Charlotte also said Hawaiian print shoes. She's going to Hawaiian print everything. She's going to say, no kidding. I wanted to ask, what is a piece of advice you'd give to students who are, you know, quote unquote, entering the real world? Like, what is something that you wish you knew when you started, you know, getting into your career in the workforce?
I think the best advice that I can give, for maybe not even only for like this career, maybe for everything, is just talk to yourself nicely, you know. Like, say like, oh, I can't, like, I'm an okay designer. I don't know if I can make stuff for these guys and blah, blah, or, you know, I don't know if this job is right for me. Like, you gotta go into things with like a positive mindset. I know that's such a cliche thing, but you know, like these things, like the way you talk to yourself, it does like take a toll on you for sure. You know, just having that confidence going into like anything that you want to do, like just have, you know, like a straightforward, like if you want to do it, just do it. Go for it.
Yeah. I love what you said about be nice to yourself, because especially for a lot of the students, like putting a lot of pressure on yourself, you know, to like do really well. I mean, you don't want to get burnt out before you even go, you know, get your first job, you know. So that's a nice one. I wish somebody had told me that also when I was going through college. Your friend said, get out of your comfort zone. That's also a good one for sure. Yeah. I am winding down on my questions. I'm going to give a shout out to anyone in the audience. If you have any other questions for Joseph, please drop them in now. We're going to be closing out soon. You already gave us like a lot of good like sources or like places to go for inspiration, but let's do a quick like quick fire round of like, who are you following? Whose products are you looking at? Like, let's go down the list of like, you know, where we can find inspiration from, or where you find inspiration from. For me personally, I like my explore tab on Instagram always has like good things, and I just like save it for later, you know.
One is Salehi Bembury. That's the guy who does like the nature stuff with like his products.
Great.
Another person that I've been following for a little while now is local artist Kamea Hadar. Am I pronouncing that? One that does like a lot of the murals. I know he's been doing stuff for Billabong, which we do carry at HIC. Well, I think like that's like, as far as like local people, that's one person you should follow. And I actually got to meet him once at HIC. Didn't realize it was him. But that's kind of crazy. And then another person, what is his name? I think his name is Ola. He's like the head guy for Fitted Hawaii.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been following him for a long time now. Kind of like, of course, he shows like fitted stuff, like fitted products.
Right.
I know he's in touch with like Hawaii like stuff, you know, like Hawaiian culture. So that's always nice. Another person. How many was that? Like 3?
That's 3. Oh, Charlotte said Keola Raposa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Olazini, I think, is his @ I do follow him also because I like to see the fashion, the looks, you know.
Yeah. Another person that I do follow. I had it at the top of my head.
Work it out. Who is it? Tell us where are they from? Well, we can figure it out.
Dang. Oh man.
I okay.
It'll probably.
If it comes right after this. No kidding. It's okay. You can just tag it. Put it in the comments after we're done. All right. We got a couple of our last questions. How do you handle criticism from your boss? Go ahead.
He does lettering.
Lettering.
He does.
Okay. Is he local?
He's local.
Where?
I think he's part of Fitted too.
Oh, okay.
Does like, I think he did the mural in the Zippy's Pro City. If you guys ever, I think he did the lettering there.
Oh, okay. I see. And Zippy's is really cool because they've been doing all those collabs, so people will probably be able to find it if they just like look, you know?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I know who you're talking about, and I also cannot put my
He does
finger
like
on it.
with like a crew, like cards. I forgot.
Yes.
But
well, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. If you don't comment it, I will. I'll find it after this. Okay. What? Back to someone's question. Criticism from your boss or coworkers. How do you handle it?
Ooh, that I kind of learned like over time. I think through school, definitely through school. Because you know, like when you have to present stuff and people critique your work, I mean, they care, but you know, it's like someone's opinion. Like you gotta just keep an open mind because someone might say something and you'll be like, oh, I didn't think of that, or like, oh, let me try it out, and it obviously works out. So yeah, just kind of keep.
It's hot.
Not too far. but yeah, just kind of keeping like an open mind.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Especially as creatives, you know, when we do stuff, we're very like precious about it. It's like the most perfect thing that I love so much. But sometimes, you know, it's not. You know, being open to other people's opinions. It can only make the work better. You know.
Hmm.
Let's see. Any other questions? Let us know. Shout out to Bob Ross. Love that. Our greatest inspiration, apparently. All right, Joseph. My last question, you kind of alluded to it earlier when someone asked about your 5 years from now. What is your dream job?
Dream job.
Dream job.
I think maybe not really my dream job, but my dream project. As of right now, definitely like a shoe. If I could just stamp my way somehow into like this shoe area, that would be great. I feel like that, I guess like that area, I can do a lot of storytelling for sure.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
I don't
A
know.
lot more.
Was they did this like a long time ago. He did a they did like a Pele Nike Dunk. It's like a black shoe, but it's like with use like oranges and stuff like that. On the inside, they had like an illustration of Pele, but that what people, I guess, like, I don't know about the mainland, but like I know for here, people would take out those insoles just for out of respect for her.
Oh, wow.
Those and like I think the Aloha Dunks, the Aloha on there. That's cool. Like, you know, like a lot of I can incorporate.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, everyone's tagging at Nike right now in the comments. Blow this up so that Joseph can do the next Air Joseph. I don't know, but apparently dunks, but okay. Joseph, I'm so glad that you got to tell us, you know, all about your experience, about your career. I know that a lot of us were super interested, and I mean, I'm coming away with this with a lot of great tips too, so I appreciate you coming. I just wanted to let everybody know the next time we're doing this, February 28th, so same time, same place, we'll be here. You can follow us here. I know Charlotte will also send a reminder in the newsletter. But other than that, anything else, Joseph, you want to say to everyone?
Shout out to like all my friends.
Yes.
And, you know, all the
yes.
popped up in here because
I
didn't tell them. They did drop. So yeah, shout out to them and shout out to everybody that you know, definitely helped me get to where I'm at now. There was a lot of people that was along this journey, and you know, it's been a long time, so shout out to them.
Shout out. I love it.
West Oahu, ACM, you know, definitely learned a lot.
Also shout out to Charlotte. Yes.
Charlotte.
Gotta slide that in there. All right, Joseph, looks like we still have some questions, but you can get back to them in the comments. I appreciate everyone for coming, and we'll see you guys February 28th. Thanks, Joseph. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.